We just got done talking about our keys to success for the Detroit Lions over the Carolina Panthers. One of those keys, whether we said it or not, is Jameson Williams. He brings an explosive element to the field for the Detroit Lions, something they sorely missed for the beginning of the season. But we saw in the last game, Jared Goff underthrew him by quite a long margin. He had to wait in the end zone for the ball to get to him, ended up getting broken up after he burned his man by a couple steps. Easy, does this concern you? And if so, how long until Jared Goff and J-Mo get in sync? And I'm not talking Timberlake.
Shoot, that's my question for you. The listeners, I mean, some people say that's an issue, right? But
well, that's not how we do the show.
I mean, we open up the phone lines, have them call in, but I already know what the Goff Gobbler's going to say. They're going to say they just need to get their timing together. They need to get that in sync. That no Justin Timberlake, but I truly feel like it's a Goff's arm issue, and like people could tell me it's not all they want until they're blue in the face, but like every single throw to J-Mo has been underthrown. And I'm talking about even the touchdown one that he had 2 weeks ago. It's just the reality of the situation. And like, do not tell me that Jared Goff has a good deep ball. Because if he did, he'd be in the conversation with Matthew Stafford. He'd be in the conversation with Patrick Mahomes. He'd be in the conversation with Justin Herbert. Those are guys with good deep balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, arm strength. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like he would be in that convo. He's not. Because of that it's long story and documented that he just struggles with the deep ball. It really is. I mean, right away when the trade happened, Michael Brockers, oddly enough, his teammate had apologized for the statement, but he's like, you finally got a good quarterback and make the big time throws. Like Aaron Donald said it too. The very first time Matthew Stafford hit the field, like it's just the reality of the situation. Like Jared Goff struggles with the deep ball. I'm not as concerned with it though. I mean, I guess I am, yes, because there's obviously a touchdown that was left off the board, last week against the Jets, and that's a damn good defense that you want to take every single point against. But I guess I have somewhat faith in Ben Johnson and finding like some type of plays to utilize like his speed and shorter routes. You know what I'm saying, where Goff can actually get the ball to him, and then J-Mo can then make a play from then. That's what I'm hoping for at least.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Obviously, it'll take them a couple games to get in sync. No Timberlake, but you see how Tua uses Waddle and Hill, and Tua doesn't have the best arm in the NFL. Tua doesn't have the greatest deep ball in the NFL. So if he's able to utilize them, I'm not worried about how Goff will be able to utilize Jameson Williams. Like you said, I have faith in Ben Johnson and him to be able to scheme open routes for J-Mo, him to be able to get him in space to utilize his speed and explosiveness with the ball in his hands. So yeah, the deep ball, deep shots, it might take a little bit for them to get there. It might take a little bit for him to understand Jameson Williams' speed, but I do think they'll be able to utilize him, such as how the Dolphins utilize Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle with a guy like Tua Tagovailoa, who doesn't have the greatest arm, who doesn't have that big Rocket Mahomes, Herbert, Allen arm, but they still get the ball out to those guys and get them in space and allow them to use those weapons that they have to be dangerous on the field. So I'm not worried about it as much. I did think, that was one thing that we talked about is the deep shots, might not be the greatest option because can he get him out there? Will it be reliable? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I'm not worried about if that's going to...
Well, they're going to connect on some of them, right? I mean, you saw it like 2 weeks ago against the Vikings. Like, it's going to happen. But even like to the Tua situation, like, and I could be completely wrong. Like, everybody... Jamie, you pull it up. If anybody wants to look this up, but like before Tyreek Hill got there, how many deep balls was he actually throwing to Jalen Waddle before then? I feel like just like Brandon always says in the group text,
a lot of yak.
Having those, having like those two elite wide receivers open up options for each other. Which I mean, he has Amon-Ra St. Brown, and we will see as time goes on. They've only played 3 games together, and the first game is really J-Mo only got 9 snaps. Like I'll have to look up and see how many deep balls that Waddle got in his rookie year, but. I mean, maybe it's the fact that they have another wide receiver in the field to help them connect with those. But I somewhat have some faith in Ben Johnson, again, to just scheme something. Do more scheming than just dreaming on Goff having that deep ball, because I don't know if it's coming. And don't tell me he does or that I'm incorrect. Ben Johnson hit the podium 3 weeks ago after the maybe it's 4 weeks now on the Thanksgiving game. It was Jared Goff can make most throws that we give him. It wasn't he can make every throw. He makes most throws that we give him, and that's the reality of the situation. And hey, we have that good of an offensive coordinator that he's still able to draw up a top 10 offense with those limitations, and that's part of my spooky theory I got coming up next too.
Chris, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I have a question for you guys, and I just thought of this.
Okay.
So with J-Mo's crazy speed, why don't they just use him kind of like they've used Amon-Ra St. Brown from time to time and scheme him with some either some runs or some short passes and just let the speed take off that way?
I'm sure you'll see more of it. Obviously, he's still getting healthy. You don't want to put him in too many situations where he's going to get blown up, whether that's on a jet sweep or cutting across the middle or something like that. That puts him in a very dangerous position for a big hit to be laid on him. But, yeah, we'll see as they get more comfortable in the offense, as they issue him in the offense more. I'm sure you'll see jet sweeps for Jameson Williams, bubble screens for Jameson Williams, stuff like that.
That was the word I was looking for, too, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
For sure. JB, how do you feel about it? Are you worried about the lack of chemistry right there, or is just time will tell?
No, I mean, it all takes time. I think whether it's training camp or like a 2 to 3 month period, I think they'll eventually will connect. But as you were saying, I think Ben Johnson needs to come up with a lot more schemes to get J-Mo involved to where Goff doesn't have to throw that deep ball 2 to 3 times just so he can catch up to J-Mo. I think the problem is not that Jared Goff can do it, it's that he can't do it consistently. That's the issue right there, because sometimes he'll throw the deep ball to J-Mo and he'll overshoot him by 5 yards and he's got to stretch out and grab it. Other times he's gonna underthrow it by 10 yards and of course he's not gonna be able to grab that, so it's like, what's the point? So I think it's the problem of Jared Goff just trying to do it consistently, and that's the point that Adam was trying to bring up on the last show on our Ermanni Edwards and Mass.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
It's not that he can't throw the ball 50 yards. Like, you're in the NFL, you can throw the ball 50 yards, but it is a lack of consistency. And we'll see it. Like I said, they're going to scheme him up once he gets more issued in the offense. They're confident with how his health is feeling. They're confident with how he's playing as a whole. They're going to get him more touches in the offense with the ball in his hands in open space. And that's what you want. Obviously, the deep shots are there. That's going to be there, but you're not just taking 10 deep shots down the field every game. That's not how it works. You need to get the guy the ball with his hand, or the ball in his hands in open space, and there's a multitude of different ways you can get that done. And I have the utmost confidence that Ben Johnson will get that done.
Yeah, I think it's less of Goff's chemistry with J-Mo, more than it is like Ben Johnson's chemistry with J-Mo. Because you even go back to a couple press conferences early in the year, like you heard Ben Johnson say, is like we're learning things that we could do with them that we couldn't before because he wasn't there in practice with us. But maybe some of it is chemistry too. I mean, I will say this: there were some excuses. I don't even want to call them excuses because I'll validate them a little bit. Where some people said J-Mo could have made a play on the ball when that situation happened.
Well,
which like tough ask.
when you're running 100 miles an hour in one direction to stop abruptly, come back and make a play on the ball.
That's what the greats do, though.
Yeah. Well, he's a rookie.
No, for sure. I mean, that's what good players do. I mean, Amon-Ra's a rookie. He's one of the beautiful route runners. But
he's a second-year player.
He was really good at it last year, too.
Yeah. Well, there's difference.
The thing I wanted to say was
on running a 50-yard streak and making a play on a ball that's 10 yards behind you and being a great route runner.
Good guys make plays on the ball. But
so J-Mo's not good because he didn't make a play on that ball?
Like I said, the greats. I said great. I mean, maybe he develops it. I mean, who knows? But I was gonna justify that excuse a little bit. Although, if Goff just throws that thing, it's there. It's a touchdown. So, but let me tell you guys about Swiss
Insurance. You shouldn't have to turn around and try to make a play on a ball.
No, 100%.
Have a guy burnt by 4 yards.
100%. I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, if Justin Herbert throws that, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't tell me this guy has a deep ball when, like, if I rattle off those names, they're making those throws.
He can make the throw once in a while, but it's not consistent.
It's like the Chark thing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It happens. It's just inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reality situation. You probably throw a good 50 ball if you give a couple tries.
Yeah.
It's not going to be consistent.
Not consistently. No, definitely.